Hey kids, did you hear about the new show that slams white businesses by raising the awareness of people of color because of racism and sexism and box-checking identity politics? What would you think? Well, sadly, here we go again. Thank you, Netflix. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is What's Next.
How dare you!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Berganzo here. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing well today on this Tuesday. White business owner, Asian co-worker, sexism, racism. If it ain't broke, well, who the fuck cares? Netflix does it again. Let's take a look. This coming out of Vox, and never will I quote Vox again. Hopefully. Netflix's partner track could have been a powerful examination of racism at work. Instead, its messy execution gets in the way. In some ways, Partner Track, a Netflix show based on a 2013 novel by Helen Wan, is trying to make an interesting point. A series centered on Ingrid Yoon, a senior associate attempting to become partner at a corporate law firm in New York City. The show often offers important commentary about the sexism and racism that women and people of color face in the ultra-white, ultra-male spaces. Yes, you know, the patriarchy. That focus has been praised by some of its relatability. There are moments when Ingrid's colleagues take credit for her work, when they are given better assignments simply because they have more social rapport with their bosses and they're elevated for mediocre performances when she's the one putting in the time. In addition to the microaggressions the show captures, because of course it does, the explicit acts of discrimination it spotlights, including a racist stand-up routine that one of the associates performs at a corporate retreat in an attempt to push out a black employee who complains about it, and that the decision to skip over Ingrid for one of the partner's slots in favor of one of her significant less qualified male counterparts. Wow, I mean, you don't need anything else. I mean, hell, this is a great show, isn't it? Doesn't it sound exciting and fun? It's still rare for a television show to center the perspective of an Asian American woman, and even more for viewers to experience biases that exist in the workplace through her eyes. Had the show committed to examine office disparities in a more thoughtful way, it could have been quite powerful. Instead, it takes a half-hearted approach to these issues and puts more emphasis on a myriad of other dramas. At its heart, Partner Track is not a hard-hitting look at racial politics and microaggressions in the office. It's mostly a glossy soap opera about kissing in business suits. Still, much as the namesake novel, it's trying to say something about the systems that are in place to prevent women and people of color from advancing in the workplace, and how those marginalized peoples by these structures are often keen to reinforce them. Partner Track fails to effectively do so because it doesn't invest enough in that focus and gets sidetracked by everything else. Let's see. What could be the inequities in a workplace where there's an Asian lead and a bunch of white dudes? Partner Track's more compelling storylines take place at work and they involve two main conflicts. First, the racist stand-up routine that is performed by one of the characters, Dan Fallon, and one of the white male associates at the law firm. During the company's corporate retreat, Fallon, a glib and arrogant attorney who has generally fratty vibes, does a set mocking the idea of white fragility. Remember when we all used to call disclosures opening the kimono, said Fallon. If someone were to tell you that now, that's both racist and sexist, or what I used to call twice the spice, and you were to say something like, but my college girlfriend was Japanese, that would be another prime example, louder for the folks in the back, white fragility. While several members of the audience, including Ingrid and her friend Tyler, who is black, are appalled. They're appalled. How dare you? During the performance, most of the attorneys seem to find Fallon's comments cringeworthy but entertaining. In the end, he walks off the stage to laughter and applause. Tyler winds up leaving the event while Ingrid confronts her boss, Mallory, who pledges to conduct an internal review, though Human Resources concludes that Dan should be put on probation management ultimately decides that he'll get a slap on the wrist because his clients are too valuable to the company. I didn't see this being talked about much. Then again, being that Netflix's tried and true mantra is, slam white people, raise people of color, raise women, raise indigenous, raise gays, raise the alphabet community. And again, does this go on in actual corporate business in 2022? Maybe. Sometimes. Maybe not. Maybe all the time. We actually don't know. What we do know is that just like how they portray the dad as being the dumb one in the family, the adult of the family, the Homer Simpson of the family, this show, and among others like Dear White People, portrays white people, whether suburban, poor neighborhoods, rich neighborhoods, corporate business, as being the racist, the sexist, the phobics. Basically are raised up to put the white people down. And this show basically is a perfect example of it. Making a joke, oh, white fragility. Well, guess what? The fact of the matter is that there's not really a white fragility, unlike that stupid book that was made on it. And of course, the woman, shall I say, who made the book, wrote the book, made a lot of money off of it. So for her to hate the patriarchy, yeah, no problem in cashing those checks. And same thing with this woman, Helen Wan, whose book is being based for this show. Guarantee she got a pretty nice little check from Netflix, to slam corporate white America. Being that most of the businesses, most of corporate is white owned, is white founded. But now, of course, in 2022, that's a bad thing. And we can't have that. We cannot have that. We need to tear them down to raise all the other minorities up. Truly sad. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.